Okay, Smackdown. This show, what do I have to say from this? Was it better? I always say, was it better than Monday Night Raw? And I'm sure y'all know what the fucking result of that is. But, a very, would I say it would be a mixed bag on SmackDown? In a way, yes and no. There's some things I like, there's some things I don't like. And, Lincoln, Nebraska tonight, and with these shakeups still happening throughout the week, you might as well call this the 2-week shakeup, since everyone is still, switching shows here and there. What else can we take from this, huh? And who else was going to be switching shows this week, which we had a lot going on in this show tonight, which there are things I somewhat understand what's going on, but then there's some odd things at the same time too to what's been going on SmackDown tonight. But of course, we kick it off with the best in the world himself, Shane McMahon. Even though I hear the real best in the world is back nowadays, CM Punk, which allegedly under a mask, but well, if that was him, but I think it was confirmed to be him. But, that's a story for another time. You can go look at the video if you want to go check out all CM Punk thing. But Shane McMahon, the best in the world of what he had Greg Hamilton do when he came out. Yes, of course, like I said, Shane McMahon, his best in the world thing with Greg Hamilton. But he was out here to address what happened last week with Roman Reigns attacking his dad, Vince McMahon. And he did not like what he did to his father last week, as they showed the clip of him getting Superman punched, which never really explained why Roman Reigns punched Vince McMahon to begin with, other than him saying it was his yard now and everything after he argued with him. But pretty much after he was punched, Shane McMahon said it was horrible to watch, of watching another man hit his dad, which has been done for years, really, just as Stone Cold. We can go through that whole history, anyone else has ever got him, but Shane said, his father is one of the greatest men that has ever lived. He is a national treasure, and hitting Vince McMahon was like disgracing the American flag or defacing Mount, which he messed this up, by the way. It's Mount Rushmore. He said Rush Mount War or something, or Rushmore. That's what he said. You could go back and look at it. I tell you right now, he messed up saying Mount Rushmore. He botched it. Okay, look it up. But Shane said that Reigns has hit the chairman and CEO of a $1 billion company, and that is more importantly, that is his dad. And we could fine him, suspend him, terminate him, but he wasn't gonna do that. Shane said we're gonna settle it right here in the ring. He called for Roman Reigns to come out, and that's an order, because Reigns, you work for my family and everything, so you get out here right now. Roman Reigns came out, which he was actually cheered in a way. He didn't really get booed that much, and there was a chant for Roman also. So I guess they probably got a good time where they could actually cheer him in, because they were starting to boo him out the building in Canada last week. Last week, Reigns pretty much was going to talk, but he threw the microphone to the side. Shane threw his mic, but next Elias attacked from behind. Then Shane McMahon attacked from behind. Shane McMahon and Elias started jumping Roman Reigns until Elias could hit the drift away on him, which they pretty much left the ring after that as Roman started to get on his feet. So I'm assuming Shane McMahon has moved on from The Miz at this point and moved on to Roman Reigns, okay? So what I'm seeing here right now is another McMahon Authority versus Roman Reigns storyline to what I can see from this, okay? Do I really need to see Shane McMahon go against anybody right now? Not really. I'm sure a lot of other people will think that, but one way or another, they gotta have Shane McMahon, and I'm sure he'll be in a match with Roman Reigns soon enough. But hey, he's on SmackDown now. That's Fox for you if you want to go for that, since I keep hearing they're making so many changes out here nowadays. But I guess that Elias is now involved, and Shane McMahon. I don't know. So it's something. It's just like I feel like we've seen this before. We've seen the McMahons go against Roman Reigns. We saw this like a few years ago. So this isn't really nothing new. And I'm sitting here looking at this like, so Shane is like, I don't know. It's like, is Elias Shane's sidekick now? Are we going back to some Attitude Era level booking here? Like this is gonna be the new Austin versus McMahon, or Rock versus McMahon, or whoever versus McMahon of the week this week. I don't know, but it's just, I can already see it now. It's gonna be Shane McMahon versus Roman Reigns soon enough at some match. Maybe SummerSlam for all I know. But you know it's coming, okay? You know this match is coming. And with Elias being involved, we'll get to that match being announced for Money in the Bank also, since Elias was singing backstage about he wanted to challenge Roman at Money in the Bank, as Shane said, all right, that's a good song and everything, but we gotta go. So they pretty much they got in a limo and they left. This reminds me of some Attitude Era stuff for some reason with Shane McMahon, with another wrestler going against whoever. This is like him managing maybe Triple H, or him managing Chris Benoit at the time, or maybe what's it, the Mean Street Posse, or the whatever they have Shane McMahon to. But you know, he's the best in the world, folks. Soon enough he'll probably be the WWE champion for all I know. But do I really need to see? It's just kind of odd. Like, okay, he was going against The Miz. Now he's going against Roman Reigns. And I'm sure Vince will sooner or later be part of this too, which he already is since he got punched last week. So he will, I'm sure he'll be back into this. And Elias is now involved. Does this work well for Elias and Money in the Bank? Not really. I'm sure Roman will go over because it's Roman, of course. So there you go. Why does this need to be a feud? I don't know. But they want Shane in it, so another McMahon Authority storyline versus Roman Reigns. We gotta stack the deck against him, man. They're on their way to building him up back to be the guy, the champion. It's the agenda, as some people say. The agenda. Next, Caleb Braxton interviewed Kofi Kingston backstage as he talked about his match with Shinsuke Nakamura, his first singles match since WrestleMania, and you know, he's still growing every day and everything since he's been the champion. Would show up and pretty much say, like, tell him you the champion, man. Tell him you the champ right now. And King say, you know, everything is right in the world. With Big E being out right now, and I'm sure he'll be back soon enough. They brought in the Big O, Kevin Owens, which they did a New Day Rocks thing right after that. Finn Balor came out, and since he was beat by Almas pretty much a week ago at this point in time, and since SmackDown does not want to explain why Almas is even back on SmackDown, even though he was moved to Monday Night Raw last week, we're not going to give you any explanation to why he's back on SmackDown. All I know is that pretty much him and Zelina Vega were they're in the back. Vega pretty much said that Balor tried to escape Andrade, but he will not escape him. And Andrade pretty much spoke English then, saying he's going to destroy the myth of Finn Balor, and that is his legacy here. So that's pretty much what he said from there. The match itself was literally 50-50 booking when you think about it. Hey, Almas won one last week, so Balor wins one this week, okay? So there you go. Vega tried to get involved, and pretty much she tried to do a crossbody. Almas caught Vega, pretty much let her down. Balor with the shotgun drop kick, coup de grace for the win. I'm sure this is going to be a feud still, and most likely will go to Money in the Bank for the Intercontinental Championship. So, hey, the guy's back on SmackDown. He's already taking L's on SmackDown like he did beforehand, okay? I've said it before, like I said in the Raw review, I'd rather have him on Raw, because at least it'd be a change of scenery for him, because he didn't really do nothing on SmackDown to begin with, but we'll see where this goes. I'm sure many people know why he's even on SmackDown anyways, but well, really back on SmackDown anyways after 1 week. I'm sure either people are going to say Fox or Charlotte. So there you go. And I think the more rumors now it's saying it's mostly Charlotte. But, yeah, pretty much lose the Balor right here. Not a bad match, though. Next, Asuka, Kairi Sane, and Paige came out as Kairi's about to go against one of the Iconics. What was it? Who was it? Peyton Royce, which they got Kairi's name wrong, so I'm calling her Kairi, I think. And they just pretty much talked about Asuka and all of them, and they did their iconic thing, their little Superman pose, which I'm surprised people are actually cheering, saying the iconic thing now when they do their pose. They pretty much do their pose and everything, but now at this point okay, first off, this match was like, what, 2 minutes? Or 1:30, which the whole match was on Twitter if you go look it up. Kairi Sane wins, insane elbow. why are these two the tag team champions? You might as well, I'm about to say consider these titles dead, because this makes literally no sense. Okay, alright, they won the, alright, Kyrie wins, and, well, first off, the Iconics, like I said yesterday, they have lost every match ever since they won the belts. Singles, tag, whatever, they've lost them all. They beat some jobbers, and that was it. But what this is like, they've lost everybody now. So it's pretty much easy now to think about it. Whenever the title match happens, it would make no sense if they would beat them, because they've lost pretty much every match and everybody's beating them in under a minute. I don't understand why they're the tag team champions. I don't get it. And I'm like others now, just take the belts off them. This is not working. Which he really questions me more. What was the point of taking the belts off of Sasha and Bayley now? Makes no sense. It makes literally no sense. These two suck, and you barely got any tag teams right now as it is anyway. But yeah, Iconics, horrible, done. I don't know why the champions. Then they just have Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville come out and pretty much do like some claps as their music are playing and everything. And then next thing you know, another shake-up change since it's not even been announced. Hey, let's put Jinder Mahal back on Smackdown now. The guy that was the WWE champion a couple years ago, and it went really horrible. But hey, he's back with the same brothers, and it's the superstar shakeup, which I guess is still in effect for some reason. So let's move Jinder back to SmackDown. He did nothing on Raw and job out to everybody, which he will probably job out to everybody on SmackDown unless these people are that crazy enough to giving him a push again, which I feel like they would in general, knowing this company. But pretty much before the match did come back on. Pretty much from a commercial. What did they play from the commercial? Yes, they did show like a little video, which I guess is trying to reestablish, Alistair Black now, and to getting people to know him again, because he sat down and talked about people know who he is, but he asked if the fans really know who he is, that he's the name and persona, but it's not the same thing. He couldn't even begin to people explain the complexity of his tragic character. And he said that give it time and you'll see the tragic world you grew up in and will have been condemned. So, very interesting. I will say that. At least they're not introducing him. Having doing a little bit of some sit-down interviews, I guess, in a vignette type of way, since he's not tagging Ricochet anymore. Now maybe we can sit down and get to know Alistair Black, other than just throwing him and Ricochet back on the main roster over a couple months ago and just having them tag for whatever. If you don't watch NXT, you probably won't know who this guy even is or even why he's on the main roster. But at least they're showing you why he's on the main roster now to get to know him. Chad Gable came out, which he was immediately attacked by Lars Sullivan. Sullivan pretty much picked him up and ran him into the ring post. He had a stare down with Jinder Mahal and the Singh brothers. Jinder got out of there. He pretty much beat up the Singh brothers and him with a sit-down powerbomb. R-Truth came out, which he probably got a bigger reaction than pretty much anybody right here, because Sullivan was pretty much literally had no reaction out there, if you ask me. Truth tried to fight him. People actually chanted for Truth, but he pretty much picked him up and slammed him, and it was sit-down powerbomb after that. So Sullivan, I'm sure some people saying right now, he beat up somebody that's not over 40 years old. I keep hearing that he's getting the same push as Brock Lesnar, I think, right now from 2002. I've been seeing some comparisons about that when he had first debuted in the company. I guess, hey, let's have this guy like a monster and beat everybody up. This is almost similar to Strowman in a way. And they say all they got to do is put him against Roman, but we all know what the end result will be. Will that be if they do put him against Roman? I'm sure that time will come sooner or later. But Sullivan beating up everybody wasn't really that bad, and I just don't understand what was the point of setting up a match with Chad Gable and Jinder Mahal now, pretty much, which I feel like I've seen this on Raw already, and I actually thought Jinder was going to go over in general, because just knowing them, hey, let's put a new person on Raw, let's have him go over. But Sullivan, he pretty much beat up 3-4 guys out here, so at least they're trying to make him look powerful. I'm trying to see if this Sullivan thing goes out well, so I guess we're trying to take a slow and steady approach. Just have him beat up some guys, and we'll see where this keeps going with Sullivan right now. Next, after that, Charlotte came out. I should say that they talked to Roman Reigns in the back. I guess the challenge has been accepted for Money in the Bank, so let me get that through. But Charlotte came out, and that she was in the ring with three of the very, and being two of the very best in the business, and you got to see three of the very best in the business in the main event of WrestleMania. The Man, the Queen, and what do they call Ronda again? The baddest woman on the planet. That was a blank in my mind. But pretty much as she talked about all three of them, she pretty much said, I was not pinned, I was not tapped out, I should have never lost my title. Ronda Rousey lost the match. She was pinned. I was not pinned. And Charlotte wanted Becky out to explain why, why do you think you're the rightful SmackDown Women's Champion, which you did not beat me? Because I never lost the title. I was never pinned. But Becky pretty much came out with both titles, says, you do know this was a winner-take-all match, right? You do know that, right? And, I didn't have to beat you because I beat the baddest woman on the planet, and you couldn't beat the baddest woman on the planet, so I beat her. Becky pretty much went on to say, she beat Rousey because she already knew, I can already beat you. That's already been proven before. And pretty much I walked out of WrestleMania with both the titles, and that you two can't do anything about it. And Flair pretty much says, I'm in your head, okay? I'm in your head. You keep talking about me or Ronda every time you come out and cut a promo, or you're on Twitter, okay? That's in all your promos. Yeah, I'm in your head. You talk about me. And Charlotte pretty much said that, Becky, you have everything to lose right now, or I have nothing to lose. And, after you face Lacey Evans at Money in the Bank, I'm next in line. I want my title back. But Becky says, how are you next in line, huh? All right, you need to get back to the back of the line. I beat you. And she wanted people like, people that aren't really getting a chance. Mickie James, Bayley, Ember Moon. I want some new challenges, all right? I'm tired of facing you, which I'm sure a lot of people are tired of these two facing against each other. Don't get me wrong, they put out great matches and, they bring the best out of each other, but it is time to move on to something new. And, pretty much Becky pretty much talked about Charlotte. Like, I've faced you too many times, and I'm tired of where this is going at this point. Bayley pretty much then came out then saying, the Superstar Shakeup is supposed to be about fresh starts, right? All I see is a rerun right here. But you got to pretty much have 3 to 4 horsewomen out there. I will say that too. Bayley pretty much says that, told Becky that, you've lost track of how many times she's defeated Charlotte, right? Because I've beat her too. How many times you defeated me? Nope, you ain't beat me 0 times. You beat me 0 times. Never beaten me before. But Charlotte pretty much said, tell Bayley, hey, listen, back in the line, okay? It's my time right now. Pretty much kept patting on her shoulder, but Bayley pretty much pushing her hand away. Says, how about I challenge you right now to see who gets a shot? Charlotte didn't want to do it, but Bayley knocked the mic out of her hand and got in her face, which at least we've seen some attitude from Bayley, showing more of an edge, okay? It's a good thing they did move this girl to SmackDown because they murdered her on Raw, so hopefully this goes better. I know she was booed kind of out of the building last week, but maybe this time this is going to go somewhere different and it's not going to be bad, okay? Something more likely change hopefully with Bayley if we can give her an edge or something. I'm not saying she's gonna turn heel, but she needs like an attitude switch, and this was good right here to show more of an edge from her than being the whole hug Bayley thing, because let's be honest, Monday Night Raw's booking has just killed this girl a long time ago. Can she come back from this? I'd say hopefully so. As the match itself, it wasn't really that bad with Charlotte and Bayley. Pretty much Charlotte did pick up the win after she did try to hit the figure 8, but Bayley tried to roll in for a cradle. Charlotte got out of it, pretty much hit her with a spear, pinned her clean, and then pretty much said on the graphic Charlotte would be the next in line to get a title shot. Kayla Braxton asked Becky, what do you think about your challengers of facing Lacey Evans and Charlotte? And Lynch said, this is double duty, okay? I got 2 belts here. And, I'll have Lacey Evans tapping before she gets her gloves off. And everybody knows I can beat Charlotte, okay? But, Kayla Braxton, you're underestimated, okay? Listen, Charlotte, she's pretty much been added to this. You already have one match at the pay-per-view. But Becky said, I'm going to bet on myself. Pretty much, I'm going to defend both my titles now on the same night. So both the SmackDown and Raw Women's title will be on the line in separate matches. Becky versus Lacey Evans and Becky versus Charlotte. Again. How many times we've seen this match? I don't know anymore at this point, but it's happening again. So Bayley did make a point when you think about it that this is another rerun. It's Charlotte versus Becky, okay? Do I think Becky's going to lose one of these belts at Money in the Bank? Maybe, maybe not. And if I had to bet, I'd probably say they would probably drop the SmackDown one back to Charlotte for some odd reason. And she retained on the Raw one, okay? And I know they probably, mentioned Lacey Evans here and there, but they were kind of like, Lacey Evans does not matter, okay? That does not matter right now, even though Becky got punched and, knocked to the ground last night in that weak women's right punch, if you ask me. It looked really bad. Becky was almost late on selling it. It was like, oh, wait, I got hit. I got to sell the punch now. And it did look really weak. So they kind of dismissed her from the match when you look at it. And they says, we're not talking about her. We're talking about you right now. We're kind of just focusing on Charlotte. Would I have liked to see Bayley win? It would have been a different thing. It would have been new. It would have been a fresh match. But, hey, we got to see Charlotte versus Becky again. So hopefully Bayley gets some type of title shot sooner or later, but at least we saw something a little bit different from Bayley tonight than the same old Bayley all the time, because the crowd really turned on her last week. They did play the Bray Wyatt Firefly Funhouse thing from last night. I will say a little bit more about the whole thing, and I did speak a lot on Bray Wyatt's new gimmick last night. I guess maybe it's a split personality thing. Because I look at the gloves that said hate and heal on it. It's almost like he's trying to say, I'm not going back to that darkness. Okay? And I did a lot of things to get that out of me. Because now I'm a better person. So, I think I said this before. He's probably doing what he can. Or maybe he will descend more into the darkness for all I know. I'm not saying he's going to be the new broken Matt Hardy or anything. But, like I said, I'm willing to give this a chance. I am. And hopefully WWE Creative does not bury this. But knowing this WWE Creative team itself, they'll find a way to screw this up one way or another. Could it be a whole new stable? I don't know. Other than him with his puppet bird Mercy and was it Abby the Witch and everything? I know some people saying that Eric Young could be part of this, or I don't know, Nikki Cross, or somebody said hire Sam Shaw, even though they just hired him to the company now, signed him, I believe. I was actually surprised at that. The creepy bastard, if you remember him from TNA, but I know he signed also. But it looks like I guess they were trying to test the crowd audiences. They kind of showed some shots in the crowd watching. I don't think the crowd really knew what was going on. I'm sure a lot of people are really trying to understand this whole Bray Wyatt gimmick. But let's give it time. Let's see where this goes, okay? I don't know about the whole Pee-wee's Playhouse Blues Clues thing, but it's like you're trying to be Mr. Happy-Go-Lucky guy right now and somehow still be the Dark Wyatt, especially with those gloves on, saying, I'm going to try to stay happy. I got to put smiles on faces and everything and not try to be a bad guy. So let's give this a chance, I will say. We'll see where this goes. Even Saxon said, part of me feels like I'm tripping. What did you smoke? And I'll give him that. And part of me feels warm and fuzzy inside. But since they went from Saxon, they went to the Kofi Kingston to Shinsuke Nakamura. New Day came out. The Big O did the introduction, which I kind of find out the champion's coming out, but this ain't a title match, so just a little odd to me when the WWE champion comes out first. He went against Nakamura in his giant Trigun coat. Rusev and Lana were there, which I don't even understand why they're a team. This match was alright for what it was, I will say that. It pretty much ended with Rusev coming in and attacking Kingston, DQ. Kevin Owens came in and Woods. Right after that, pretty much throwing Rusev on the outside, and Rusev pretty much threw Woods to the outside like in a double team move. Nakamura pretty much Kinshasa Woods after that. He tried to go for Owens, but Kingston pushed him out of the way. Pretty much with a trouble in paradise. But the next thing you know, Kevin Owens super kicks Kofi Kingston, massive boos. He pretty much started beating Kingston and throwing him around the barricade and everything, and turning on the New Day, turning on him right there. Which I will say this, I was actually going to give this a couple more weeks until he turned on him. But the Yellow was with him for 1 week? 1 week I think he joined this group. Yeah, 1 week he joined this group, and hey, now he turned on him, which I'm sure everybody knew Kevin Owens was going to turn on the New Day sooner or later. We all knew it was coming. I just didn't think it was going to happen already. It was kind of quick, if you ask me. And, you know, Owens asked whose belt this is, as he threw him around. And, you know, he had the belt, got back in the ring. He says, I hope you had a good time with this title. I hope you had fun times with your kids and everything, because now I am taking this back. And I want my shot at the WWE Championship. He pretty much kept throwing Kofi Kingston all over the place. Kofi tried to fight back. It didn't work. He was going to powerbomb him on the apron, but Woods pretty much came and saved him. Owens pretty much powerbombed him on the ring apron part and left him down. As Kofi tried to help his friend, Kevin Owens pretty much walked out of this. So, there you go. I will say I found it odd to see Sanjay Dutt out there when I saw a lot of trainers coming out. Can't believe the dude really left Impact. But, pretty much a good angle here. This sets up the match for Money in the Bank. Kofi Kingston versus Kevin Owens. I knew this was mostly going to happen sooner or later. I was just waiting for him to turn. I didn't think he was going to turn on him right now. But I guess, hey, we got to build this pay-per-view. So there you go. He's turned on him. So it was predictable. We all know that, but at least the crowd was really into it, and they booed it. Kevin Owens for turning on the New Day like that. I don't know when Big E's coming back, but I'm sure he's going to get the payback soon on him also. But we'll see what Owens does say next week in regards to what he did to attacking Kofi. Excuse me. We will see what he says, what he did to Kofi next week, I'm sure. But that was a great segment to end it off, though. I don't know when Big E's coming back to make the save, but we'll see where this goes. But Kevin Owens, I guess he's not in line to get a title shot, and he is a heel again, folks. He is a heel again. So where does this go from here? I'm not really sure. But a really good angle, good segment at the end of this to get the crowd going into what was going on. After what I can say about SmackDown tonight, what I can say was really good was either the main event and the Kevin Owens heel turn on the New Day. I don't know about Roman versus Shane McMahon. That's just, I don't know what you can take from that. You can take whatever you want to take from that. You can take whatever you want to take from that in general. What else happened on here? The Becky. The Becky and Charlotte promo was pretty good too. And at least we showed a little bit edge from Bayley's. Like I said, it was an okay show, I thought. It wasn't the best show I've seen in a while, but I still don't really want to see Roman versus Shane and Elias. I don't know where that's going to go. So I didn't think this episode of SmackDown was bad. I just don't understand what these random shakeups keep coming, like Jinder Mahal out of nowhere. The women's tag titles are dead. Iconics suck and they're horrible, so there you go on that. But I did like the angle turn mostly. That was probably the biggest thing on here was the Kevin Owens heel turn angle on Kofi Kingston. So that was enjoyable. But like I said, that's my review of SmackDown. I'm going to go from here. Peace out. Check out my Monday Night Raw review. Tell me what you thought about that. Tell me what you thought about SmackDown tonight. Like I said, it was an okay show. Wasn't the best, but at least the crowd was into it. I did like I said, they chanted holy shit after Kevin Owens did that power bomb on Woods on the apron too. And I did like they chanted Becky no belts at Charlotte throughout the night in her match, even though I don't really want to see another Charlotte versus Becky match. But we'll see where this goes on since they got the 2 belts thing going on. But even people saying right now Becky's not as over as she used to be or something. It's debatable, but I'll get into that another time. But I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Tell me what you thought about Monday Night Raw. Tell me what you thought about SmackDown tonight, okay? I'll tell me what you thought about any video in general. Still a lot of other wrestling going on this week, so we will see what happens. But I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.